Yes, y'all. Like I said before, you're listening to the Optimus Rhyme Show through the Carnival program. A very, very special August the 18th, 2012. We have a very special guest, my man, the Aki from Zulu Nation, representing, alright, North Star and Universal.
Alright, the Style Elements crew.
Style Elements crew, there it is. And we have a very, very, very great pleasure to welcome my man, and once again, Mikey-Ice. Yo, Mikey-Ice, brother, how long have you been breaking?
Oh, man. Honestly, it's been a long time. If I put everything, it's at least over 20 years, to be honest.
All right, 20 years, y'all. All right, not too many B-boys and B-girls can say they've from the Valley and been doing it for over 20 years. So right here, we have a very, 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 very well-educated man right here from the game. So, brother, tell me, how did you recall seeing the beginning of breaking out here in the West Coast compared to like in New York, which was in the early 80s? In the early 80s.
Honestly, the way that I seen breaking was, I remember I was walking like from school, and I remember turning the corner and I seen some kids like digging in like the garbage can. They were like pulling off some cardboard, you know, like somebody had put it on the floor, you know, and I'm just riding my bike going through the neighborhood, you know, on Juan Apparel Street, and I'm seeing somebody like, it looked like they were trying to do like a butt spin. Basically, it was a butt spin, evolved into like a back spin, and then they just did like one pose. So when I first seen that, like that's what basically like intrigued me to find out, like, you know, what were the other pieces to this dance, you know, and then also when I got into my my junior high school called Thomas Jefferson in Long Beach, that's when I seen like another kid like breaking on his numbers, you know, in like in my gym class.
Man, all right. So let's give it a time frame. What year we talking about from Jefferson Middle School? Where you
I'm thinking around, that had to be like around 83.
83. So that's when you first saw just some young cats from the neighborhood doing what it do, right?
Right.
All right. So what made you go into that? What made you go into that dance? How did you go approach it? Was they like a crew? Was the name of a crew that was dancing? Like, did they have a name, or they were just cats from the neighborhood just doing it?
It was mainly like just some local kids like from the neighborhood, you know. But at that time, before breaking hit the West Coast, like popping was very big out here. Popping was already established in California, so there was crews called the Mystical Poppers, the So Rough So Tough Poppers, you know, the Puppets, you know, the Dragons.
And this is like from where we're talking about, from the lake.
Yes. This is like growing up in like Los Angeles, you know, like seeing that.
So let's fast forward a little bit. We're talking about 1983.
Right.
What were some of the first like crews that you remember seeing in the scene?
Some of the first crews I remember seeing in the scene was like the Wizards, which was an all Latino like B-boy crew. They were called the Wizards. Right. Another ones were the Dragons.
Right.
And there's another crew called the Lockatrons coming out of Madera, California, and the Players. Those are two big crews. Anybody that knows that live in Madera, like if you say that, you break down original history when breaking and popping hit the West Coast in Madera, it was the Players and the Lockatrons. Man, there you go, man. I wish my man Mark Anthony, rest in peace, was out here, because he was from that time, man. That was his time, man. He was DJing a legend in his own, in his very right, intelligent, had like this very good ear for good music. Made Mark Anthony. He used to do the oldie show here in Linwood, and just saying that history kind of reminded me of him. Now tell me a little bit. We're talking about in the 80s. Now let's keep it right there. Let's talk a little bit about when you came out here to the Central Valley. Then that's when I believe you made your name, right? Right.
Making your name. So take us to that journey.
Okay. Basically, when hip-hop was coming like real strong, everything was like Frosty Freeze, Kid Ice, you know, Mr. Freeze, Icy Ice. So for me to identify with that, like I had to come up with a name. I thought that I really identified with that era because everything was like Freeze and Frost. But my original name was Little Up Rock because like that was the first element that I really loved to do, which was the up rock. You know, not even knowing years later it was actually Top Rock, you know.
Exactly. Let's break that down, because we have Brooklyn, right?
Right.
That is known, and then you have So can you please break down what is the origins of up rock and top rock for people that the nerds that want to know?
Up rock is basically it's a rock dance that came out of Brooklyn, New York. A lot of original crews out there. A Touch of Rock, Dynasty Rockers.
Bushwick, y'all.
Yeah, yes. There's more that I can't even really think right now, but that was basically the up rock is when you get like an Apache line, which is 2 lines of dancers, and the whole time you dance the whole entire song.
Right.
As it's called, like burning and jerks. Burning was basically trying to make you humiliate your opponent while you were actually dancing to the music.
There you go. That's how they get.
By burning jester. Top rock is when you first come out as a b-boy and you come out and you express yourself, who you are at the time. So it's an expression of who you are. So it's your top rock, and your top rock is your intro before you go to the floor.
There you go. All right, a little knowledge for y'all nerds out there that want to know how that works. So, all right, so you come out here to the Central Valley. What year is this? And then how you became connected to that community over here in the valley?
Actually, it had to be like the mid '80s, and when I came out here, the first group of people that approached me at my junior high school with Thomas Jefferson was a group called the Lockertrons, and I remember the first day of school, people found out about me, and they was like, yo, this is a guy. His name is Mikey-Ice, he's from Long Beach, and he knows how to break. When I first came to my school, nobody was breaking. It was popping, It was only poppers, and I remember they already set up a battle for me. They were like second lunch. You know what I'm saying? You got to battle a cat named Steve Contreras, by the handball court. I was sweating mad bullets because I didn't know anybody. First day of school, my first big battle.
Word. So, man, what year we talking about right now?
That had to be like 83.
83, man. This is where we saying
in Madera, Thomas Jefferson.
In Thomas Jefferson. All right. So right there, 1983, y'all. We gonna get into that real history, all right, of what was happening right here in Madera. So I want you to give a picture of what was that environment. How was that environment? How was the poverty? How were crews? Was it all a united? Were people segregated? Were blacks with blacks and Latinos with Latinos, and they'll be on that banging? So we're gonna talk a little bit of all that. To kind of give a better picture and a clearer picture of what was that setting and what was going on in the community. Can you do that for us?
Yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to a quick break and come back with more of this interview, all right? If you don't know, this is the Alchemist Round Show Carnival program on the Accidente Bilingue. We're talking hip-hop, culture, history on the element of breakdancing, all right? So y'all keep it right there. We'll be back, y'all.
You're listening to Carnaval every weekend starting